Coming up, Sunday marks the 68th anniversary of the founding of People's Republic of China. People are celebrating the National Day across the country. The Moroccan city of Marrakesh has launched electrical buses from China in a bid to improve transportation service and reduce pollution. Hello and welcome. I'm Lixiang in Beijing. You're watching Lifestyles on CNC World. Sunday marks the 68th anniversary of the founding of the People's Republic of China. People are celebrating the National Day across the country. Lifestyles takes you there.
At daybreak, more than 115,000 people from across China gathered at the Tiananmen Square at the heart of Beijing to watch the raising of the national flag. At 6:05 a.m., the national flag was escorted by guards into the square. The crowd stood in silence as the national anthem was played, and the five-star national flag was raised. At the backdrop was a 17-meter tall giant display in the shape of a floral basket, symbolizing a thriving and prosperous country. Watching the national flag raising ceremony at the Tiananmen Square on the country's birthday has been a way of Chinese celebrating the National Day. Some joined the gathering for sightseeing, and others came to express the feeling of patriotism. In Hong Kong, over 4,000 people gathered in Bauhinia Square to watch the raising of the national flag. Hong Kong chief executive attended the ceremony. The chorus consisted of over 70 students sang the national anthem. In North China's Hebei province, school students made the national flag with their parents, giving best wishes to the motherland. On the high-speed trains between Wuhan and Beijing, the stewards performed poems and songs to celebrate the National Day. During the performance, the passengers expressed their patriotism and wished the country a thriving and prosperous future. The National Day is celebrated with a week-long holiday, while the Chinese traditional Mid-Autumn Festival, Moon Cake Festival, falls on October the 4th this year.
The Vancouver Interior Design Show has opened its door this week. Interesting art, clever designs, and stylish people. Those are the ingredients for this annual show. Let's take a look.
The event is a showcase of the most stylish interior designs, with companies and designers attending from up and down the west coast of North America.
It's really an exciting time to be a part of the design community here because there is so much happening in Vancouver and on the West Coast. There's a lot of opportunities for interior designers. Industrial designers are really finding a lot of success here in recent years. It's a really lovely design community and it's growing.
The show attracts about 250 exhibitors, ranging from large commercial companies to tiny one-person design shops. It features the latest aesthetics in appliances, art, furniture, and fixings. The organizers are expecting about 35,000 attendees to the show.
There's a corner of the show that's reserved solely for prototypes. That is, new companies, new ideas, and new concept pieces. It's a good place to see how our changing homes and our changing urban lifestyle are influencing our furniture needs.
It seems like smaller and more versatile furnishings are in demand. That's probably because many Vancouverites are living in small condos. And that's likely the namesake for 600SQ, a tiny furniture company making tiny furniture, like this seated tea table. They've only been in business for about 3 months, but are already making sales.
Me and my co-founders, we are the part of the millennials, right? And what we encounter is small living spaces. Most of us have to live in shared apartments.
He says this piece is designed to be simple, quick to assemble, and easy to move when it's time for you to move house, a common experience for young Vancouverites in a very tight rental market. Hidden stashes for remotes, charging cords, and tablets are also an important part of the design.
So having a room or one bedroom that you share with somebody else. So if you have a family already, it's really hard to find a proper apartment for a normal rent, especially in Vancouver. It's crazy here, right?
Montage says their furniture designs and uses need to change to adapt to smaller urban homes and digital environments. The event lasts until Sunday.
Australia's biggest pop culture event has kicked off in Sydney, with tens of thousands of superfans set to attend the two-day event. Lifestyles takes a look.
Now in its fourth year, Aussie Comic Con is an opportunity for gamers, film fans, and comic book lovers to get together in celebration of their favorite characters.
It's always a thrill to get to meet the fans, and especially Mass Effect fans, I find, are very creative, especially with the cosplay. You've got people who this game means a lot to, maybe it helped them through a difficult period of their life, or they've just really connected with the characters.
While the fun-loving event is a lighthearted affair, the Hollywood star said that at a time in a world with heightened political tensions, it gives people from all walks of life an opportunity to unite.
I think it's imperative. I think it's imperative more than ever that people come out and be themselves, be happy, go follow your passions and your dreams, and forget about all the negativity.
Lincoln Park Zoo Fall Fest, held in Chicago, has attracted thousands of people to have fun.
All kinds of entertainments suitable for adults and kids alike were available. The real fun was in the pumpkin market, where pumpkins of different sizes and colors were displayed. Many people took pumpkins they'd like to decorate their home for the coming Halloween. A professional pumpkin carver showed off his skills and make extra large pumpkins into big faces. Kids and their parents were also having fun in a corn maze.
A U.S. expert has said China and the United States need more intensive cultural exchanges.
John R. Taylor is a political science professor at the University of St. Thomas in Houston. From his own teaching experience, Taylor said so many young American students are unfamiliar with modern China.
And again, that's where I think China needs to step in and really to really push the idea that these cities are not just for business purposes, they're for educational and cultural purposes. I mean, there needs to be, I think, more than panda diplomacy. There needs to be much more extensive cultural exchanges, and it requires American cities and American states to get into the game in a way that China already has, and in a way in which these exchanges can really give, again, a broader cultural understanding from both sides.
The professor said people in Texas could be interested to find some similarities with Chinese culture. Those similarities connect two peoples together.
I would love to see a cultural exchange with our Houston livestock and show and rodeo people. Not have a full-blown rodeo like we have here in Houston, but something along those lines in portions of China that have never experienced or seen that kind of American culture, Western culture, Texas culture, for example. I think Texans, for example, might be very surprised if they had Mongolian barbecue and notice that how it might be a little bit similar to Texas barbecue. Those are the sort of cultural things I think that are important that we need to expand upon.
Also, Taylor said leaders of both countries are creating a sense of continuity of bilateral relations and expanding that continuity into different cultural programs and educational opportunities.
To me, if you're going to understand not just China, not just China-U.S. relations, but to understand the world as they're going to live in it in the 21st century, you need to be able to understand China, among other places. And to be in China for, say, 3 months, 6 months, or a year is incredibly important. The robustness, the depth, as it were, of understanding, I think, is incredibly increased by having these exchanges. Understanding each other is better than not understanding who and what we are or where we're coming from.
As the first U.S.-China social and people-to-people dialogue has kicked off in Washington, D.C., Walt Disney Studios did its own bit by hosting a cross-cultural dialogue of its own.
Supported by China Film Bureau, the 5-day Disney-China animation exchange program was tailored to suit the needs of an elite cadre of Chinese animation filmmakers. Celebrating its third year, the program was a high-level exchange of ideas and practices between filmmakers of Walt Disney Animation Studios and leading animation filmmakers from China. Ed Catmull, who co-founded Pixar with Lasseter before joining Disney, discussed Disney's international bent.
I believe that we have a responsibility as storytellers to tell stories that work around the world. And what that means is we have to have relationships with people who think differently than we do. And so by connecting with people, and it really is all over the world, but by connecting with people and learning what they think, then I think it makes us better storytellers. But the other thing is that if other people tell better stories, we're all better off. And we all have different stories to tell. So it isn't as if we're competing with other people. It's like, oh, we're better off if everyone does well.
Academy Award-winning producer Roy Colley premiered his team's latest effort, Olaf's Frozen Adventure, a short film based on Disney's runaway hit Frozen and its characters.
I would hope that what happens in the development of animation in China may follow suit with that, because as opposed to sending pieces out in different areas of the world, to have your director, your animators, your team, your technical team, your post-production team, all in one place, I think allows you to make films of the highest caliber.
Representatives of Chinese animation filmmakers spoke highly about the exchange program and valued the opportunity. General Manager of Fenta Wild Animation Inc. said Chinese filmmakers should learn from Disney about how to tell a story and share it with the world.
Two things impress me most. Firstly, it is culture. Disney talks a lot about their legacy, which they make much effort to maintain and carry forward. Secondly, it is that they do not just show American culture. For example, their recent work, Moana, presented the culture of Southern Pacific Island. They did a lot of the research to show the original culture. Many stories were closely related to its cultural background. This is a point we need to think about when creating our own works.
The Chinese filmmakers also said they wanted to learn from their American counterparts to improve the domestic animation industry.
From this to visit Disney animation studios, I realized there is still a big gap between Chinese animation and the world top-level studio, and I become aware of more details. This is what I have not thought about when I stay at my own studio in China. Through the communication with the industry insiders, we definitely learn a lot.
I think Chinese animation studios lack communication with their foreign counterparts, but Disney emphasized a lot on that. So I think we need to learn and improve, especially the ability to communicate.
The Egyptian Red Sea resort of Al Ghona has been lit up this week with the town's first film festival. As a new event, the festival looks to revive the cinema industry in most populous Arab country. CNC has more.
Held between September the 22nd to the 29th, the Al Ghona Film Festival is mainly organised and funded by the business tycoon brothers of Naguib and Samir Sawaris. Together, they hope to revive Egypt's film industry.
The cinema is among the oldest industries that entered Egypt. At the same time, when Hollywood started its black and white cinema, my brother and I have always had the desire to revive such a heritage and return Egypt to its filmmaking leading role in the Middle East at least.
Under the slogan of Cinema for Humanity, the festival screens around 70 films from about 40 countries. The opening film is Sheikh Jackson by promising Egyptian filmmaker Amir Salama. It tackles life's inner conflicts through the life of a young bearded cleric with a passion for pop music.
The festival actually looks glamorous and impressive, and my expectations of it are very high. I'm proud that the opening film of the first festival is mine, and I hope the audience will like it.
It's not just filmmakers from the Egyptian market. Movie makers from other Arab and international countries are also in town.
Festivals. I love going to movies. I've been a juror at the Tribeca Film Festival and been to Cannes many times and Sundance, and I just enjoy festivals in general. But I think this particular festival has a chance of becoming the Cannes of the Middle East.
Homegrown stars are hopeful that the festival can show Egypt in a new light. While the GFF wrapped up on Friday, the brothers now hope it can establish itself as a staple on the world film's calendar.
I think by having film festivals, by having bridges to communicate, by having a common language that is very peaceful, like cinema, like filmmaking, this would be the best way to dispense this message to the world and tell them that we are peaceful people and we take good care of our guests and we're very friendly.
A homemade bamboo train called nori has delighted tourists for nearly 2 decades in Cambodia. However, the nori is on the brink of disappearance as the country has started to restore the rail line for train service.
In Battambang, about 291 kilometers northwest of capital Phnom Penh, nori was first invented in the 1880s by railway workers who used it to check and repair train tracks. Later, local people had used it to transport goods and to travel along the tracks. Local people used bamboo trains to carry tourists to see bucolic scenery along the dilapidated railroad in Sangka district of northwestern Cambodia's Battambang province. The bamboo trains have gradually become a popular mode of transport for foreign tourists.
So it felt more like a roller coaster, but it's really nice. And I think actually it's a good way to transport really heavy things from one to another place. So yeah, it's nice.
Oh, it's different than what I thought of, because when you hear about a train, you think it's like a big train with big wagons, and I didn't thought it's just like a small platform and you go like on a roller coaster. It's very interesting. I like it.
The bamboo train provides a thrilling ride to tourists in a distance of 7 kilometers for $5 per tourist, or $10 for renting a nori for a single trip. 2 axles stripped from old vehicles were laid on the train tracks, and a bamboo platform was set on top of them. A small petrol engine was wedged into a hole that is cut out of the platform and tied to one of the axles with a rubber strap.
I really enjoyed it. You get to see the fields, you get to see just everyday life, and so it's a very great experience.
Currently, some 40 bamboo trains are serving tourists along the 7-kilometer stretch of the dilapidated 388-kilometer rail line, which lies from Phnom Penh to Ban Thi-A Minh province and Thai border. Cambodia officials said a railway overhaul had begun from the Thai border for years and reached the place where the bamboo trains operate earlier this month. The restoration of the rail line from Phnom Penh to Thai border is expected to be fully completed by the end of 2018.
I'm really concerned when this railroad is closed because I'm big old and don't know what to do.
Another driver, Song Kin Kung, 36, said operating nori is the only skill he has to feed his wife and 2 children.
The Moroccan city of Marrakesh has launched electrical buses from China in a bid to improve transportation service and reduce pollution.
The buses will ensure the transportation of over 45,000 people a day. After this step, Marrakech, which hosted the UN Climate Summit last year, has become the first Moroccan city to use these environment-friendly buses.
And indeed, the purchase of the new electric bus of this kind. This collaboration between Morocco and China confirms the long-standing friendship between 2 countries and 2 peoples.
The use of these buses was scheduled in November 2016 to coincide with the holding of the UN summit, but the city council decided to delay it for multiple reasons. Chinese bus manufacturer Yangzi signed with Moroccan companies an agreement for the establishment of a plant to produce electric buses for Moroccan and European markets.
Today, I am very happy to join you to celebrate the inauguration of the electric buses. It shows improvements of highly technology in Morocco. Renewable energy has become important for everyone, and China and Morocco have a lot of cooperation in this area. We have made a lot of efforts, and today we have the fruits.
The agreement of this project was signed on the occasion of the visit of King Mohammed VI to China last year. By the end of 2019, 35 of these buses will be put into circulation in the city.
The northern Chinese port city of Tianjin issued a guideline on Friday to regulate the city's booming bike-sharing market.
The new measures came as problems surfaced, such as hazardous parking and too many bicycles in crowded areas, which worsened traffic jam. The guideline requires all bike-sharing companies to submit their basic information, management rules, and the number of bikes they plan to put onto roads before they can get a permit. The guideline demands bike-sharing companies to assist local authorities in bike parking management. It also orders bike-sharing companies to set aside deposits in designated banks, which should not be put to other use. According to the Ministry of Transport, China now has around 70 bike-sharing brands, with more than 60 million bicycles on streets nationwide and 130 million users. In order to regulate the industry, Chinese cities such as Beijing, Shenzhen, and Hangzhou have issued such guidelines.
An emergency rescue center was established in southwest China's Tibet Autonomous Region on Saturday, marking the first 2 air ambulances for civil use in a region.
According to the rescue center, each fully fueled helicopter is equipped with breathing machine, defibrillator, and other medical facilities that can carry a patient for up to 600 kilometers. The helicopters, which are able to take off in 25 minutes when needed, will be based in Xichokling Airport in the regional capital of Lhasa. The center will serve 7 prefectures and cities in a region. Moreover, the rescue center will further introduce a helicopter equipped with a hyperbaric oxygen chamber and an A505 passenger aircraft, which will help delivering patients around the world. According to the Red Cross Society of Tibet, the air ambulances would make delivery of patients in critical condition much faster in the plateau region.
3D printing is quickly finding use in a number of industries. One area that could be incredibly useful is medicine, where doctors hope the technology can revolutionize difficult surgeries. CNC has more.
44-year-old Mr. Fang has been suffering from kyphosis deformity for more than 30 years. With a hump angled at about 90 degrees, his band spine has been putting pressure on arteries, limiting blood supply to his vital organs. Spinal surgery has always been a difficult, potentially dangerous option. But thanks to 3D printing, Fang is now recovering after successful surgery earlier this month. He was treated by Tan Jing and his team at Shanghai East Hospital, who used 3D printing to research Fang's surgery.
That's all for today's program. For more news and highlights, follow us at our website. It's en.cnews.cn. Thank you for being with us. We'll see you next time.
云天无际，承载梦想。中国南方航空是中国运输飞机最多、航线网络最发达、年客运量最大的航空公司。亚洲第一，全球第3，是南航缔造的业界奇迹。 蓝天壮志情，云海谱华章。
同心地产，芝加哥最大的华人中介团队，无论是家居或是商业地产，给你带来全方位的最佳服务。
专业的团队，丰厚的经验。
Welcome to Chicago. Welcome to the Lake Cook Law Group.
投资理财、法律咨询，芝加哥专业律师团队为您的梦想提供最安全的保障。
Hi, this is Little Chinese Channel, 小小中文 Lesson 1. In this lesson, we will be teaching you these 6 Chinese characters. What's this? E means 1. E is only 1 horizontal stroke. 一天 means 1 day. 11 means 11. E is the building block of these 2 characters. If we add a shorter line on top of E, it becomes R means 2. 20 means 20. 12 means 12. These 2 characters contain R. If we move the top line up a bit and add a even shorter line in the middle, it becomes san. San, san means 3. 30, 30 means 30. 13 means 13. If we add a vertical line in the middle, it becomes feng means abundant. 丰收means good harvest. If we take feng and cut it in half, it transforms into fei means not. 非常 means very or unusual. This time I will teach you a new character. Take E and add a vertical line in the middle, making a cross. It becomes 10 means 10. 10 means 10 days. 11 means 11. That's right. E means 1. R means 2. San means 3. Feng means abundant. Fei means not. Shi means 10. Bye-bye. Your lesson is done.